right, we are on the back side of the quilting machine right now. You can kind of see how she's in the opposite direction. This is the back side of the bed right here. And I have loaded the top of the quilt backing onto the take-up bar with my red snappers. You can see how I have the tube on the inside, and then this has kind of like a little C groove around it, and I have snapped that all the way across. I'm going to get ready to roll the backing, which is a lovely flannel, onto the take-up bar. But you can see being folded up, Carla's quilt being sent over does have some wrinkles in it. Just the nature of the beast, especially flannels. They can really show all of those little wrinkles, and I just don't want to have any of that happening. So I'm going to double fist it with my water here and just spray it on. By the time I get done and prepping to roll the rest of this on, then a lot of these wrinkles will already be gone. This is going to relax the fibers. I will also be removing these darker threads because we don't want anything showing through her quilt. So that's something that's going to be happening right there. And then I will proceed to do the rolling up of the backing onto the take-up bar and then out onto the belly bar. Now you can see she has pieced it together. Very nicely done. She's done it with the selvages. That's great. She left the selvages on. She left a nice wide seam and she pressed it open. That's going to be wonderful. When I finally get to the point of quilting over top of that, I will make sure that that seam is still pressed open, and otherwise, of course, I will grab my distilled water. I will be spraying on there and finger pressing it open, and I promise you, friends, it's going to be amazing. So when I get quilts by mail, or even when they come over to the quilting studio, many of the quilts that I have on the rack here and the backs, even though they've been hanging there for a little while, they also come kind of wrinkled, and I'm going to be grabbing my distilled water and cleaning them up in that fashion. That really does relax the fibers very, very swiftly. And then by the time I get her on here with the tension of the bars holding her each way with my red snappers, and then when I use my clamps on clamps on each side, you can see my orange clamps right there, that is going to add enough tension that all of these wrinkles are literally going to be gone. No ironing needs to happen out here in the quilting studio. Questions about that? I'm super happy to help you with it. I'll be heading around now to the front of the quilt bed, and I will machine, and I will be using the red snappers to attach to the belly bar. You can see there's her beautiful quilt right there, ready to go on. It's going to be amazing. Love the process. Send a quilt over here to Brenda's Quilting Studio, and I'll get you taken care of, friends.